and Sunday, February 16th. At the Carroll County Fairgrounds in Berryville. Tickets are just $10 per person for the entire weekend. Only $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders. Children 16 and under are free. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. My favorite sport is hockey. I love the ice, the sliding, and especially the hits. But I don't love those things on our roads. Winter weather is here, so slow down and drive defensively. But if a bad driver gets past your goalie, call me to make a power play against the insurance company. After 13 years of settling car wreck claims, I've got more than a few tricks in my hat. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Stop it. Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, could see a little freezing rain across the north to start, and then a chance of rain. A few thunderstorms across the south. Our high temperatures today will be right around 40 north, closer to 50 south. Cloudy and colder tonight. The overnight low will drop down upper teens north, right around the mid-20s south, and then partly to mostly sunny on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Zonet's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague Lott fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome in on a game day here on Halftime. You're listening to ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and the Hit That Line Now app on a wet, rainy, potentially icy Wednesday across our listening audience. And school closings being announced throughout Northwest Arkansas at the moment. Bentonville, Gravette, Siloam Springs, Pea Ridge, Eureka, Gentry. No school today because of worries about the roads. And we got you here on Halftime for the next 3 hours. I guess any other school closings that are announced, we'll send those over to you as well. Good morning, Matt. Happy game day. Got an Arkansas LSU game tonight at 8. This would be, I think as we defined it yesterday on Halftime, a don't-lose game. You can't lose it and expect to make the NCAA tournament, so I guess that also makes it a must-win.
Happy game day, no question about it. You know, when you play a game like this and you're the favorite, you know, when I was either at, you know, football or basketball or in Jacksonville, Coach would would always say, just do what you do. You don't have to try to do anything that you're not capable of. All you have to do is let cream rise to the top. Go out there and play your game, play confident, play comfortable, play fast, know your assignment, take care of your business, attention to your details, and do that. You shouldn't have any problem because we are a better team than LSU. Not saying that LSU doesn't have any athletes, but we're a better team. We've been playing. LSU's lost 5 in a row. We won 3 of 5. We're getting them at home. Got to win this game. If you didn't, you got to earn your way into the tournament, and this would be a big one tonight.
Yeah, and I thought the version of the Razorbacks who played LSU last month was a better team than LSU, but they just weren't playing basketball better than LSU was that day. And really for the next few days, next few weeks after that, but it's a different team for Arkansas. You got a lot of minutes from Jonas Adu in that ball game. Boogie Fland was healthy. Totally different situation going in today. Bet Saracen has Arkansas favored by 10. I saw bet ESPN as Arkansas favored minus 9.5. So you can see the Razorback fans are feeling pretty good about it because if Bet Saracen has the home team favored by 0.5 point more than the rest of the nation, you can see Arkansas fans are feeling pretty good about it. Be an 8 o'clock tip-off on ESPN2, televised after Louisville and North Carolina State. The thing is, though, is you know this, too. It's a 6 o'clock tip-off in Raleigh. You will not be watching the tip-off of Arkansas LSU on ESPN2. You'll have to hope that ESPN News is part of your programming package for ESPN because it's fairly impossible to fit a men's college basketball game now into 2 hours. We can fit the women's games into about 1 hour and 45 minutes since we're playing quarters, but good luck getting the Louisville-NC State game in 2 hours. So, I've got ESPN News. Won't have any trouble watching that if they throw it onto the U, who got it there as well. Might be some folks have some trouble with it, though. Next 3 games are quad 1 opponents after this one with LSU. A&M and Auburn on the road, then Missouri. You're going to have to find a way, I think, to win maybe one of those ball games.
Got to win tonight, though, too. If you don't win tonight, then I just think this. I don't think this team makes the tournament. I think that's how big this game is. If the team loses tonight, then how are you going to beat either one of these next 3 teams? Well, if you can't beat LSU at home, you can't beat either one of those next 3 teams.
That's a good way to look at it. Forget about the next 3 opponents afterwards. Forget about the quad 2 games with Texas and USC. Forget about the last 2 games being quad 1 at Vandy and Mississippi State. That's right, because if you lose this one, you're going to have to run the table and go undefeated. Pretty much.
It's a big game. It's and you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to just go out there and play and have fun, man. Number 3, go dominate, be efficient. Big Z's playing good. Keep them off the glass a little bit. Block out. No, that's what they're going to try to do is use their athletic ability. Try to make them uncomfortable just a little bit and do your thing.
Wow. I also don't expect this as a game where LSU gets to the foul line. What was it, 35 times in that ball game? It was reaching.
We couldn't stay in front of them, though. It was kind of, they were using their athletic ability. We couldn't stay in front of them. They were a little bit more physical than us. They were playing above the rim a little bit. But our rotation, and I'm sure their rotation is going to be different. Our rotation's almost completely different now. And I think we're playing Carter Knox. Who knows how much he played that game. I think with his starting lineup, Phil, is our best defensive lineup. Like that's why Carter Knox is playing. People are talking about he's not being very assertive on offense, and he's a freshman big. They don't get the balls a lot. You got to kind of make do to get the ball. What he is good at, he's good at understanding spatial awareness and playing defense.
Well, he plays with a lot of energy.
Exactly.
The energy and the spatial awareness have to go together with a little bit of at least understanding of your scouting report and who you've been watching on film for the last couple of days, and he seems to do very well with that. Last night in the SEC, the top 3 teams in the nation all won. Auburn was in a tight one with Vandy before pulling away in the second half, winning by 12. Alabama scored over 100 for the 4th time in conference play, 7th time in the season, beating Texas easily by 23. Texas can have some trouble, I think, winning some ball games. Outside of that freshman Trey Johnson, there's not that much, and Tremont Mark has really struggled. He was rough yesterday. Florida handled Mississippi State 81-68, so the top 3 teams in the nation all win. A&M came from 9 down at halftime to beat Georgia 69-53. That was a big opportunity for Georgia because looking on bracketology, they're the last SEC team into the tournament, one of the last 4 that's in, according to Lunardi. The other 3, and I was checking on how they did yesterday, BYU, San Diego State, and Wake Forest. BYU 40th in the net ranking. That's 1 spot ahead of Arkansas. So you probably have to pay attention to how BYU is doing over this next month when it comes down to bubble talk. They won at West Virginia yesterday. San Diego State beat San Jose State. Wake Forest has Florida State tonight. And another, because you got to worry about what's Arkansas's best win of the season. Your 2 best wins are Kentucky and Michigan. Michigan beat Purdue last night in Ann Arbor, so that's going to help as well. That's what happens now. It's scoreboard watching this time of the year, especially when you do have to worry about how the teams you've beaten are playing, and you got to worry about how teams that you really wouldn't care of very often are playing as well. Who here cares about how BYU is playing? San Diego State, Wake Forest. Those are all teams that have, I wouldn't say resumes that are similar to the Razorbacks. Arkansas's got a better net ranking than all of them except BYU, but they're all into the tournament, according to Lunardi, and Arkansas would be the last team standing out there as the smallest violin in the world. So I don't want to be paying attention to those teams, but the reality is, and I think for the next 4 weeks, you kind of have to pay attention to how those teams are doing.
Georgia beat Oklahoma, South Carolina, and LSU. Now they beat Kentucky early in the season, but that's what Georgia they beat South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma. We haven't played South Carolina yet. We lost to LSU, lost to Oklahoma. Georgia's not really a very good basketball team. That was another one that I think the Hogs, when they look back on it, Georgia, Oklahoma, LSU. Think about just how different the season is now. If those 3 are W's, I mean, we're probably in the top 25, just kind of taking care of business of the games you're supposed to take care of.
And at that point, I'm not telling you anything about BYU or San Diego State or Wake Forest, and you wouldn't be worrying too much about Michigan. Maybe you'd be worrying about it just about, where do you slot in as far as the seed you get in the tournament? But right now, you could be playing in the first 4. As of right now, and it's kind of difficult depending on how you do against some of the top teams. And again, lose tonight, it probably doesn't matter very much. But Arkansas is going to be a first 4 team unless they have unless you have a couple of upset wins at A&M, at Auburn. You win those 2, maybe it won't be first 4. But right now, you're going to have to win an extra game in order to go a little bit farther in the tournament. But then it's all about winning tonight, so forget about the tournament, right?
Game day.
That's right. Game day, 8 o'clock, late night, ESPN2. But as I told you, I feel like we could put odds on this, like almost a guarantee that this game is not tipping off on ESPN2 tonight.
So I don't have ESPN app, but I do have ESPN News, and so if you pay attention to it, it'll say you can find this game on the ESPN app, and that'll come up about 10 minutes before it's really supposed to tip. But then right about when it tips, it goes, and also on ESPN News, because they want you to go to the ESPN app, I guess. But then they'll show that up there at the end if you just wait about 2 minutes, and most of the time.
Well, here's what's halftime today on a Wednesday. Hall of Famer Clay Henry joining us at 12 noon. We'll be going deep into tonight's basketball game. We've got a big, baseball season starting up on Friday. Clay had a great sit-down talk for the Hog Pod with Matt Hobbs that I listened to yesterday. It's one of those conversations that could last for half a day, but you got to keep it to about an hour for programming's sake. Looks like you got exactly what the lineup's going to look like. The starting rotation was also announced today, so lots in on baseball, and also a happy Valentine's Day, because today is the day that Arkansas beat top-ranked North Carolina in Pine Bluff in 1984, one of the more legendary games in Razorback history, and Clay was there to cover it, so we'll visit with him about that as well. Your calls and texts all throughout the show at 877-377-6963, and Grant Hall, speaking of Hall of Famers, is next with us here on Halftime, so stay with us.
Just wanted to call in and tell you guys, looking forward to Razorback baseball. You do a fantastic job, play-by-play.
This is Halftime. Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
Pretty exciting. First time that we've done a podcast, and we're going to try to promote Fort Smith Public Schools, what we do, our basketball at all 6 schools, the 4 middle schools and both high schools. And then, of course, we've got several big-time tournaments coming up, one that starts today. And so this is going to be exciting.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Takes for 3. It's on the way. Yes! Yes!
to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Nobo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. My favorite sport is hockey. I love the ice, the sliding, and especially the hits, but I don't love those things on our roads. Winter weather is here, so slow down and drive defensively. But if a bad driver gets past your goalie, call me to make a power play against the insurance company. After 13 years of settling car wreck claims, I've got more than a few tricks in my hat. Call 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
ESPN Arkansas is proud to partner with Arkansas Children's Northwest for the Miracles and Magic Mediathon. Together, we can make a difference for local kids. Every donation directly supports the expansion of Arkansas Children's Northwest. A big thank you to our presenting sponsors, Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Visit crabtreerv.com. Heartland Honda Power Sports and Marine in Springdale. Adventure starts here. And Schlotzsky's, the perfect partner for your event catering needs. Donate now at hitthatline.com and let's make a difference together. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell, Lib Moss.
Papa, watching the fall. We take from each other and give nothing at all. Well, the dog won't change, but never too late to change. So if your love doesn't flow, just reach out and call me. Hear me. I'm gonna be there.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Happy 73rd birthday to the one and only Michael McDonald. Matt, how many times do you think you could listen to Yummo Be There in one day?
And before you turn into Paul Rudd?
Yeah, probably. We've got Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Grant Hall with us. Grant, are you a Michael McDonald fan, openly or in the closet? Which way?
Yeah, I am, and it's interesting. I've got a birthday coming up in 2 weeks, and I'll be 77, so he's just a spring chicken.
That's right. Well, I know exactly what to play for you when you come on in a couple of weeks. That'll be just fine. Basketball tonight against LSU. Is there a difference between don't lose and must win? Because tonight's one or the other.
Well, this one really is one of the scarier ones because you really can't afford to lose this game to a team that's not, most of the teams you play from here on can really help you winning. And I think Arkansas can get in with 4 or 5 more wins, but they don't need to be losing this game. And it might help them a little bit that they lost to LSU, and they can remember that. Calipari told us Monday night that he usually watches the last 5 games a team has played. And, they're playing better. Arkansas is playing much better recently. So I think I saw the Razorbacks are favored by 8.5. That doesn't even look right, does it, to see Arkansas favored like that? But, it's just a game you gotta go take care of, and you have to look at this as the biggest game of the year and beat their energy, and they might play out of their minds, and so you have to also.
Yeah, what would you say kind of the key is the game, or what has kind of impressed you at least? If you go back and we say we're taking this in 5-game increments, LSU's lost their last 5. We've won 3 of our last 5. What's kind of been the change for the Hogs?
Well, I think just building on what you've been doing. Now, Wagner had a bad shooting game last time. Excuse me. He had 9 assists, and that was good, but they didn't shoot as well, and or they might have beaten Alabama. LSU, I think they start 3 seniors. I think Sears and Carter are players that you have to pay attention to and not let them go off tonight. They got a lot of talent. LSU's always got a lot of talent, regardless of record. But I think Arkansas just needs to continue with the energy they've had, and they should be okay tonight.
Assistant coach Chuck Martin touched on DJ Wagner's point guard play yesterday in the pregame presser.
DJ is such an unselfish player. If you're open, he's going to find you. And as you mentioned, the Alabama game was a perfect example of him having 9 assists. He's a willing passer. He can see the play. We need him to continue to stay in that mindset.
So that also goes along, Grant, with you need shot makers here. And I think DJ also is a shot maker around the rim, but it's got to be more than Z. And we're not going to get 27 points out of Z every game, but it's certainly much more of a focus point offensively than I ever expected that he would be. It's just, now you still need a do to be able to get to the rim, find ways to score. And Nelly Davis is, it's been good to see his shot come around a little bit. Just need to smooth out those rough edges still from him. And then I think, it's not like you've had a bad 6 that have been getting the bulk of the minutes. There's still room for improvement, though.
Yeah, and when you're only playing 8, you can't afford to have 3 or 4 having 0, 1, 2 points like that. Even, Brazil, who was on the radio show Monday night, they're looking. I think Calipari's challenged him. They need more from him, and so I think Wagner, his first couple of games starting, I think he had 4 assists, and then he went up to 7, and I think 9. So I think he's starting to feel his way, and I know that he didn't like the 1 out of 6 last game, but they can. I tell you, no one. I asked this question the other night about Fland, and I don't think they know if he can come back later in the season at all. I don't think they know what the situation is. But that, if you could hang on and then maybe get him back for postseason, that'd be pretty cool.
What about number 9? Do you think we can get anything? Because you're right, Grant. LSU, they have some athletes. They have a couple guys that really play above the rim. It seems like maybe this is a game 9 could play maybe 15, 17, 18 minutes. Is he healthy yet?
I don't think so, and I think they really need him. And he missed his first 2-3 shots the other night. He came in and when you hear Calipari talk about what he has said to him, we just need you to play defense, need you to get the offensive rebounds, do this and that. I don't think they are.
Yeah,
looking
be a
for
rim
lot
protector, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So there's another guy that could really make it. But they keep saying 80 or 90% with his leg. I'm not sure it's that good, but he's doing what he can, and maybe it'll get better in the next couple of weeks.
Grant, today is Valentine's Day. It's the anniversary of Arkansas beating number 1 North Carolina in Pine Bluff. That game has to stand apart from any other win in the history of Arkansas basketball. Just really an outlier from the way that the game came together, the coaches that were part of it, the Hall of Famers that were on the court, the fact the game was as good as any game that's ever been played maybe in the history of Arkansas against anyone. Where it was played, it's just this. You won't find another game like this, at least as far as I can see reading through the history of Arkansas basketball. This one stands apart.
It's indelible, everything about it. Arkansas, there was a bad snowstorm in Dallas. They played SMU the day before. It wasn't an easy thing to come from there Sunday morning and play this game. North Carolina had Michael Jordan, but I remember they went to Steve Hale for the last shot, and he missed it. But Valentine, sadly, has passed away not that long ago, but some other guys, Darrell Bedford was 6 out of 6. I think that was the best game he ever had before or after or since, came off the bench and was tremendous for Arkansas. And it just, it was magical that day. I remember that on the last throw-in, there wasn't enough room between the scorer's table and the sideline there, and so the official actually let the player have a little bit of the court to throw the ball in to Steve Hale, and which was odd. But fortunately for Arkansas, he missed that about 20-footer.
Hey, we got a good one. The Genesis Invitational down there at Torrey Pines. The Phoenix Open last week, you had the Belgium Thomas Detry win. You had American Jordan Spieth play well. Justin Thomas played well. The week before, was the Rory McIlroy winning at Pebble. How has Rory played? This field's going to be tough, I believe. This is probably one of the best early fields going on. Who do you have favored out there at Torrey Pines?
Yeah, it would be tough to go against McIlroy coming off that win 2 weeks ago, or 2 Sundays ago, I guess you would say. And then I was really happy to see Jordan Spieth.
He played well.
He looked like the Spieth that made that ridiculous par where he hit a shot left-handed and got up down from 190 yards or something, and did Jordan Spieth things and tied for 4th. That's going to be really exciting for golf if he can come back, and that's his best finish, I think, in about 13 months. By the way, guy, I just heard something this morning that I heard a little bit of an interview with Stephen Ames, who's won 7 times on the Tour Champions the last 2 years, and he predicts that Tiger Woods is going to break Bernhard Langer's 46-win record on that tour within 10 years if he comes out there and plays. Now, I'm not sure Tiger is looking to play all that much Champions Tour golf, but it's interesting that Stephen Ames, a guy that Tiger once beat 9-8 in a match play tournament, thinks he can do that.
They're both Nike guys. I think every golfer knows when they hurt. So kind of like if Phil would say somebody in there in the batter's box, and when bat hit balls, how it sounds different. Every kind of golfer knows. So I was getting into golf, Grant, when I was, in my young 20s, and I was out there at Sawgrass, and I was watching golfers warm up, and I was watching Stephen Ames warm up, and you could just hear it was different, the way his club hit ball, and I was like, I'll never have that. How pure it is. That just tells you how good all those guys are at making ball contact.
And he's talking about changing his swing so he can win 5 times a year. It's just he's 60 years old, I think. But yeah, that splat that you hear, I always said that Nicklaus's sound and Tiger Woods' sound of it was different from everybody else. Just that's one of the fun things about going to golf tournaments in person.
I remember that I heard that sound off Mike Trout's bat the first time I saw him.
It's like you kind of your eyes perk up a little bit. Right. I was walking, and I didn't even know who Stephen Ames was at the time, but I was like, oh my good, that sounds different.
So because everybody that's at that level is really good at doing exactly that, but these are the best of the best. It's the guys who can, hit it on the sweet spot at the extreme speed, which you would think every other guy that's there at that level can do it, but it's not quite the same. I mean, the timing to be able to have that kind of sound with that strength is otherworldly.
Dave Van Horn was talking just a minute ago about Jeff King and how he's going to go into the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And Dave actually got to coach him when he was an assistant at Arkansas, all those years ago, and remembered when Sid Thrift came in here, the Pirates general manager. They made him the #1 draft pick and everything. But guys would notice when he was taking batting practice. And by the way, it looks like they're going to make an announcement at 1:30 this afternoon. I think what's going to happen is they'll play Friday, and then 2 on Saturday, and then Monday, because I think Sunday the projected high is 29 degrees.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be great for maybe turn Baum Walker into a curling arena for Sunday potentially.
Yeah,
you mentioned a name that brings me back and makes me really nostalgic, because I mean, Jeff King was my favorite Pirate. It's funny when you pick your favorite player, and King was a good major leaguer, but he played on the Pirates with Bonds and Bonilla and Drabick and Van Slyke, but he was the guy that I chose. And I still can't even tell you why. Maybe because he wasn't one of those stars. Jeff King was one of the quietest, really good ball players of his era. And maybe that's what I loved about him, Grant.
He lives in Wyoming, and, he came from Colorado, I think, and has not been back here very much. Dave said that he probably could have played longer, but he probably was done mentally more than physically. And I think he retired at 33 or 34, something like that.
I think the story may go, Grant, that King retired the day after he became fully vested in the Major League pension. I'm not quite sure how much he really liked playing Major League Baseball and viewed it really as a job. So then when he became fully vested in the pension, that was it. There was no reason to play anymore.
I think Kevin McReynolds was a little bit that way too, but for as much talent as he had, and he was a great player at Arkansas, a very good major league player. He liked to duck hunt too, and he liked to do a lot of other things. So he likes to play golf now, I think. But those guys were both very memorable, and this team's going to be good, guys. He gave us the starting rotation for the first. I mean, you probably know all this, Phil, but. Looking forward to seeing Gackle, who's only had one bad outing, and that was last week, and he didn't like it. He got hit around a little bit, and I kind of took it out on this week, I think. But he'll be there, and Vital Shees, I guess, will start on the fourth game, and Root, they're going to go righty-lefty that way, I guess.
Yep, that's right. And they're doing the same thing in the lineup, too, the way that Dave's constructed that lineup. 1 through 8 is all a different side, lefty, righty. It's going to make it a tough lineup to, as we say sometimes, matriculate through. Grant, you still get nostalgic and romantic about baseball because today's pitchers and catchers start to report to spring training. I sort of lost a little bit of that romanticism, but that has more to do with the team I grew up rooting for not caring about winning much anymore.
Well, I read some stories today. One was about the Dodgers and how good they are, and how much money they can spend, and then there was, what was the other story? I was reading something today about, I guess, there's a story about Tennessee, in college baseball winning the national title last year. And, if anything will get Arkansas's attention, I think that will, okay, they've got one, and now let's get one.
Say the same thing about Ole Miss and Mississippi State and,
yeah.
and now Tennessee too. So, as I said yesterday to one of our guests, from your lips to the baseball god's ears, Grant. We'll leave it there. Appreciate you coming on as always on these Wednesdays. Looking forward to doing it again next week.
Yeah, I hope we see some sunshine sometime. Thanks, guys.
Hopefully between now and then the sun will crack through. Crabtree RV Center celebrating their 75th year in business. Family-owned business since 1950, Crabtree RV presents the Greater River Valley RV Show, extending their sale with the lowest prices on every unit on the lot. There's special financing available, top brands such as Coachman and Grand Design. Crabtree RV, family-owned for over 4 generations. The Greater River RV Valley Show is extending the sale and savings for you and your family right at the junction of I-40 and I-49 beside the Cracker Barrel in Alma, online at crabtreerv.com. We'll open the lines, calls and texts at 877-377-6963, and we'll have more in just a moment.
This is Halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Contest. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
don't consider it cheating. Be found by the best repeating.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
There was a 4-act play last night at the CHI Health Center, Omaha, where the Creighton Blue Jays play their home games, and had not lost in 4 games at home against the UConn Huskies. I didn't realize this is a thing, but every year at Creighton men's basketball, they host a dollar beer night, just one per year. And usually they save it for the program that might be the best in the Big East, and this year they've saved it for UConn. And
Just don't combine it with baseball bat night.
Yeah, no kidding. Don't do that. Or disco demolition night. Try to stay away from that. This is Doug McDermott, head coach at Creighton, along with one of their top players, Stephen Ashworth, promoting Dollar Beer Night on a local news channel.
Usually everybody's pretty much ready to go when the opening tip goes up in the air. So it's always fun, and we've been doing it a long time, and it's a way for us to thank our fans. Our fans have been incredible for us.
I think we're planning on getting a babysitter. Everybody else in Omaha should get a babysitter. I'll just say try to get here early so the lines aren't too long so you can get back in your seats, because we need you in your seats, not in the lines.
All right, so the line was an hour and a half long just to get a beer for a nice $1. I don't know how many you can walk away with, but certainly people found their seats, and they might have been 4 or 5 beers deep, because this was even before the game. They're not chanting for their Creighton Blue Jays. They're not chanting for Doug McDermott. Heck, they're not even chanting the name of their opponent, because this is what it was like when his brother played at Duke. Anywhere they went, what did you hear? Hurley, Hurley. And then UConn goes and does this.
A 4-point game with 3 seconds to go. You just don't want to let them roll it. Just don't foul. The game's over. Neal from midcourt, no good. And for the first time ever, UConn wins in Omaha. And they have a freshman to thank for that. Liam McNeely with a memorable night. 38 points and 10 rebounds.
So they get the victory over UConn and Coach Hurley. Felt like they might have just beaten Coach Hurley instead of really UConn. And then the game is over. Hurley's finished doing his post-game wrap-up on the radio broadcast, and some fans still stuck around. This is Dan Hurley walking off into the tunnel after the game.
Two rings.
Let me play that one more time in case you missed it.
Two rings.
Not just the 2 rings. 2 rings, baldy.
But when you're bald too, where we going? He's as bald as any of us. It's like wait, it was.
He's balder than you. He's balder than me. But he's got the 2 rings, and nobody can take that away from
Love
him.
it when coaches. See, I thought you said Bobby Hurley earlier, but I love it when coaches start telling their resume like that. When they get a little aggressive with it, like 4 champion, 2 ring, whatever. Then it still means something to them. They're alphas and they got egos. What did he say? He was the best mother effing coach in the league. Don't walk away from me.
That's exactly
He just
right.
said that 2 weeks ago, so he's kind of on one right now.
Well, so at first, all I see is the clip of him taunting the crowd, and I thought, well, this is getting a little bit out of hand. I mean, it's like, but then you read into what led to this dollar beer night, knowing full well that their fans are going to be 5 sheets to the wind before tip-off, and then you end up losing the game, and your fans stick around to taunt him a little bit more. I actually didn't really have that much of a problem, though it still is not a good look for any head coach. It's like, all right, do you think Dean Smith was walking off the court at the Pine Bluff Convention Center today in 1984 shouting about how many rings he had and I don't know, referring to somebody as baldy in the crowd? Dean always had a nice head of hair. I'm not sure if it was real hair by the time he was wrapping up his career. It's just a weird look to see, but it made sense to me. I mean, these fans got there an hour and a half to 2 hours ahead of tip-off just to drink as much as possible for $1 at a time and to heckle the coach. So, like, I think Hurley definitely is on one, Matt, to use your term, but I didn't really have an issue with him doing this yesterday, as long as he wasn't the one who was 5 sheets to the wind before tip-off too.
They get rowdy in European football, and they get Jose Mourinho's done it. Pep Guardiola's going through one right now. They had a Champions League game. They've had 5 losses in this calendar season where they've had the lead. They don't ever do that. They're the best team. And so he's going through a nasty breakup with his wife, too, over 20 years. But he's out there saying his stuff, too. Like, he was pointing to 3 titles with this and all that stuff. So it's been going around.
People do like to point at their ring finger now, and they're about to win a championship, or at least remind you of
and
this.
Pep is just as bald as you are. Pep doesn't. He's a Dan Hurley balder.
But also, too, it's like they don't have trouble selling tickets to Creighton basketball. They'd still do dollar beer night once a year. Like, this is usually the purveyance of minor league baseball teams or maybe lower level basketball teams, not a perennial top 25 team that can sell their place out. And it's a big building too. But hey, more power to you if you keep getting people coming in here and you get this crazy atmosphere. Do we live in a world where anybody believes that there'd ever be dollar beer night at any Razorback game of any sort? Probably not. I've been to some dollar beer nights, or as we used to call them in the minors, Thirsty Thursday. Let's just call that what it was. It was more entertaining in the crowd sometimes than it was on the field.
Well, you just don't want you see. I guess now we have more cameras, but you have fans getting into fights, and that's what you just kind of keep it together a little bit.
But keep heckling
have fun.
Heckling
that's right. That you can talk all the noise you want. That's your. You can. I don't have any. You're a fan. You buy a ticket. If you want to get up there and talk noise, do it.
Yeah, we did. The first year I worked in minor league baseball, 95, Fayetteville, North Carolina, we did Thirsty Thursday. I'd never heard anything like it before. I mean, I'd read about 25-cent beer night at the Cleveland game, the Cleveland Indians, which pretty much led to them having to forfeit a game. But I'd never been a part of that. And right next door to Fayetteville, North Carolina is Pope Air Force Base and Fort Bragg. And those Thursday games, like, I even had to stay in the press box a little bit longer after those Thursday games than I would for any of the other 6 games, more out of my own personal fear because I hadn't been around that kind of alcoholic aggression. It was really, I mean, I could say interesting, but man, it was seriously frightening too for somebody 18 that had never been in a place like that.
You're going to get sacked in the morning. You'll have 50,000 cheering that at a soccer game after a coach has been on a bad spell and the media's going on. It's like, you're getting sacked in the morning, and they're just all in unison. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh gosh. I love it when people just gather around to chant at one player. The first one I remember that was when the Mets came in, when they were practically kings of the NL and everybody outside of New York hated them, and everybody would chant Darryl to Strawberry, Darryl, over and over and over and over again. What other athlete is there where you're the focus? It's not the other 8 players on the field. For Hurley, it's not the guys that are on his bench or anybody that's playing. You think about with Duke, yeah, when his brother played at Duke, it was him, it was Leitner, it was Hill, it was the whole crew. But there was also a guy like Grayson Allen, where he was the focal point. He was the guy that you might have
J.J. Redick.
It's exactly right. Every once in a while that comes out. But usually that happens because of some sort there's a reason. And I think the reason for Darryl was just because he was a great player and he played for a team that everybody hated. With Hurley, I think it's the feeling that you can get under his skin and you want to see what it is he's going to do in reaction to that. I think some fans at San Diego State felt the same way about Muss. 877-377-6963 if you want to get with us on any of that. Halftime brought to you by Fish City Grill. Big time specials going on this weekend for Valentine's Day. Make sure you make a phone call for your reservations. 479-636-8833. Lobster ravioli, Valentine's Day weekend only. Garlic herb butter shrimp, crab vodka sauce, plus Parmesan snow peas and parsley. They also right now have 2 other specials all month long, beer battered haddock tacos and seared cobia. That's at Fish City Grill. That number again, 479-636-8833 to call for your curbside pickup or delivery. Give them a visit at South Bellevue Road in Rogers and also online at fishcitygrill.com. After the break, back to wrap up hour number 1 in just a moment.
This is halftime.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey everyone, Erica Jensen here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Are you happy with your current office technology provider? Did you know that AAA Business Systems has been in business since 1979 and longer than any other provider in Northwest Arkansas? Listen up, I may be a Cajun girl at heart, but I'm a Razorback through and through. Call me today at 479-442-4185 to learn more about the one company that can truly change the way you work and remember anything else is just a copy.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
To the center of the city where our roads meet, waiting for you. To the depths of the ocean where our hopes sink, searching for you. Just moving through the silence with emotion, waiting for you. In a room without a window in the corner, I found truth.
Into halftime. Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Hey, Eric in Nashville texted, said that his daughter's going to be performing the anthem tonight at Bud Walton Arena before the LSU game. He wants us to say a little prayer for her. I would say this is not a moment where you wish anybody good luck. This has to be about break a leg, because this is a theatrical thing she's going to be doing. I'm sure nobody ever wished you to break a leg before you went out and played football or basketball, Matt. That's a whole different thing. Don't be treating sports like it's theater. But in theater, you say break a leg, not good luck.
And you don't whistle in the dressing room.
That's right. And you also try to make sure you get in the song short of about a minute 50. You basically got to get in about a word every 8/10, 9/10 of a second to make it short of 2 minutes. I'm sure she's going to be fine. There are 80 words in the Star Spangled Banner. The first most important aspect of this is you have to make sure that you say all 80 words properly and you say them in order properly. Throwing in the home of the Chiefs and that kind of stuff too. At a Razorback game, I know some students coming in from Kansas City, and I think some fans from the Stars. The Dallas Stars have a different sort of way that their fans do the anthem. I know in Baltimore, when you get to the O, they shout the O. Well, why not? Because it's the Orioles. But it doesn't make sense to do that kind of stuff in Northwest Arkansas necessarily. But break a leg to Eric's daughter, so that she gets all 80 words in correctly and within about an hour, about a minute and 40 seconds. And I'll say this, like, I've been nervous for things before. I'm nervous before every single broadcast, every single show. I don't think I've ever been more nervous than performing the Star Spangled Banner before a baseball game, and I've done it at a couple of basketball games too. Not used to the eyes and the singing, and like, that's the song you got to get it right. So all these other, and they don't put the words up in front of you either, and you probably shouldn't be looking at the words either. You can't. I guess you're not supposed to treat the Star Spangled Banner like karaoke. So I'm sure she'll do great today, and don't worry, the outcome of the Star Spangled Banner has nothing to do with the outcome of the game.
Yeah, go crush it. Trust yourself. You got the talent. Go have a good time and enjoy the moment.
877-377-6963 is our number for calls and texts on halftime. Also want to remind you about the Arkansas Children's Northwest Magic and Miracles Radiothon. It's next Friday, February 21st. All our shows will be on hand at Arkansas Children's Northwest Broadcasting Live. Help us raise funds and support for their next round of expansion right now at hitthatline.com. You see the link at the top of the page. You can donate to the halftime link, and we thank you and thank Schlotzky's for being our presenting sponsor. In just a few minutes, Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Fisherman Clay Henry will join us for the remainder of halftime, so stay with us.
Up Up to $10,000 off or $7,000 off and 0% financing on select 2024 GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 24 GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off or take $7,000 in discounts and 0% financing with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Planning your Valentine's Day date? Joe's Grill and Cantina has a delicious and fun Valentine's Day date ready for you. Get started with an appetizer including queso and guacamole. Then have chicken tortilla soup plus your choice of 2 entrees, fajitas, voodoo enchiladas, chili lime salmon, and their famous Mexicali. Plus in the dinner with a heart-shaped skillet brownie. All of this for just $45 a couple. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street across from Hart. Your place for Valentine's Day.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, could see a little freezing rain across the north to start, and then a chance of rain. A few thunderstorms across the south. Our high temperatures today will be right around 40 north, closer to 50 south. Cloudy and colder tonight. The overnight low will drop down upper teens north, right around the mid-20s south, and then partly to mostly sunny on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Good pick, good pick.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
The drinking all day.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Judge, man, take it to the house. The dog.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad we showed them at halftime.
What they for one racerback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Welcome back on. Appreciate you listening today on Halftime. This is ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and the Hit That Line Now app. I'm Phil Elson, my partner Matt Jones. We'll be welcoming on Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry in just a moment here on Happy Valentine's Day, which is also a game day against LSU. Arkansas baseball starting Friday. And just a lot to be really excited about. First and foremost, though, Matt, will be a game tonight, a don't lose, must win. This is a game that I think Arkansas is going to win. Favored by 10 on Bet Saracen. I feel pretty confident about it.
I like I like what you did. Instead of being, maybe there's not I don't know what gives the athlete more pressure, or shouldn't matter, but a don't lose game or a must win game. But yeah, this is definitely because technically if you lose this game, you're still not out. But you're just making it that much harder on you. I agree with you. It's a game where, and I've played in these games before, and coaches say, hey, don't overthink it. Don't press. Trust your instincts. Trust your natural ability, and let cream rise to the top. This is a game like that 100% that this Arkansas, and if you lose this game, then you're not good enough to go to the tournament anyways. So let's go out there and take care of business tonight.
Clay, I mean, I don't want to look at it from the negative aspect necessarily of the don't lose. I don't think that's how any of the players are viewing it. It's just you lose this one, you probably have to win the remainder of your games just to have a chance and stay on the bubble, because you can't be LSU's 2 SEC wins. But, Clay, this is also it's a different team. Arkansas is a different team than they were when they lost to LSU about a month ago. Better, but different players are seeing time on the court.
Yeah, it was a strange game, and I mean they couldn't make a shot. Let's just be honest. That's they were in their little funk. I think at the very end, Boogie got hot and kind of gave them a little bit of a hope, but they had not fixed the things on defense that allows you to win. They turned players loose. They made errors in switching. They did some fundamental things wrong, and I would say they had rough edges defensively when they played LSU, and that they're not like that now. And that's why I say you're right. It is a different team. It's a different time.
Well, I mean, now you get somebody in Big Z that was on the court for less than 7 minutes, who was on the court for over 30 minutes, I think, for the first time in his career. In Arkansas's loss against Alabama, Adu was playing 30 minutes in that game against LSU the first time around. Now you don't really see him very much. So it's a different thing, and I don't see how Arkansas, if they play the way they have the previous three, they should get this one fairly easily. Now that's also flying in the face of the fact that LSU lost by 2 against a good Ole Miss team. They were able to hang with Alabama on the road for quite a while. So they are what their record says. It's just they're also an SEC team. They might not have the personnel that a lot of the other teams have, but they can get you if you don't play well enough.
I think the key is the mindset, and you guys have touched on it a little bit. In whether you say the fear of winning, fear of losing, all those things, you have fear. You have to be fearless, and I think that's what Coach Cal has talked about in the last few games. You go out there thinking about I might not win. That's a losing attitude. You have to go out there and just play, and you don't want to be tight. You don't want to be worried about what's going to happen if you lose, or what's going to happen if you win. Those are not, and it's about the process. You hear golfers talk about it all the time. You have to just hit shots, and you have to put them together one after another. And that's the same thing. You got to get stops in basketball, and you've got to rebound. You have to do basic things, and it all turns out good.
Well, I don't want guys on a team or athletes on any team really just like looking ahead too much. That's our job. The coaches can do that a little bit too. But it's all got to be about what's right in front of you right then and there. If you're worried about, and Matt brought it up in the first segment, when I'm looking ahead, the next 3 games are quad 1 games. I mean, that's our mindset as people in the media that host a show, do the play-by-play of whatever, because
correct.
That's our job in that case. None of the guys on the team right now have to worry at all about A&M or about Auburn or about Missouri. That's not their job. Their job right now is to scout LSU, get revenge against LSU, and don't and win. I think the mindset is really important with this as well.
We never had a case where we even knew what the line was. Like what Coach Nutt or Coach Richardson or these players don't know they're favored. You just know by watching film. You know by your own ability. And Clay's right. That you go out there and play with confidence and just do your game. That's all you really have to do. And if you do the little things, I know Clay say basic things, it's the same thing. If you just go out there and do the little things, you should beat this LSU team.
Let's go to Charlie. He's given us a call. Our number here on ESPN Arkansas is 877-377-6963. Charlie, good afternoon. How are you?
How's it going, guys? I don't know about y'all. Is it raining cats and dogs where you guys are?
It's a little misty. Misty, moist outside?
Yeah, we've had rain overnight. It's been the last day and a half. It's been a lot of rain.
Well, I don't know if y'all hear that thunder, but the tuna was running. Well, I say that with all due respect. More
You
like
really
a truck.
frightened me with the way you started that sentence, Charlie, but go ahead.
Running to his truck, I guess, if you want to call it that, to get in here so I could have this conversation with you guys but I'll tell you, it didn't help. This rain, and it's cold, and I'm still trying to warm up in here, but you know what? I'm good now. I'm here with you guys. So go ahead, Clay, I'm sorry.
Just be glad that you can run and you're not swimming, because tuna swim.
Well,
if it gets too deep, you'll be swimming. So it's not so bad yet. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Clay. I'm not really running. It's more like a trot because that's like speaking Spanish for me.
A slow
at this point in my
jog.
life. Yeah, it's a trot. So anyway, but guys, you guys are touching on the mindset, and I love when I've been watching a lot of Cal's radio show the other day, and he harps on that stuff so much, and I love how when the fans ask questions and how he just takes over and I would love to be a fan there and actually ask him a question. I know it may not get answered exactly how I asked it, but the thing about him is I think I think this is something with him that he understands nowadays with the kids and the mindset. And he talks about Billy, right? Billy being a little bit upset because he hasn't played as much. Well, he wasn't playing as much at one point. Well, hey, old school coach tells you, well, I'll tell you what, Billy, go show me, and then I'll put you out there more. And what has Billy done? Well, he's starting to play a little better. Now, there are a lot of things he needs to do to get better. We all know he needs to develop. But Cal has talked about this all year. There is no substitute for fight, effort, you have to do that. And this is the thing with Jonas Aidoo to me, guys. I don't know, for me, it shouldn't be, because even Nelly, when he was struggling, there were a couple of games there where I could see him fighting, even though he wasn't shooting the ball well. Now, there were some he wasn't, or I didn't feel like he was. But that's the thing. If you're Jonas Aidoo right now, and you're, as Matt likes to say, big man on campus, bro, go in there and get us an offensive rebound. Tap us an extra possession. It's not about scoring. And I know people want him to score more points and things of that nature, but he's got to do the little things. And that's what would get him more minutes.
Charlie, I'm seeing Big Z doing some of those little things that he wasn't doing.
Protecting the rim.
Yes, that's some of the stuff you expected from Aidoo. Rim protection, strong rebounding, stuff that really he wasn't doing as much a month ago, and that's why he's out there. The three-point shooting's part of it, yes. Scoring is definitely part of it, but he's doing a lot of the things that Aidoo would do if he was starting. If he was good enough to start right now. That's the other aspect of that. Right now he's not.
Yeah, they both of those guys you mentioned, Z and Jonas, they made major plays that hurt the team. The technical foul, throwing the ball at the Alabama player, you just can't do that. That's a no-no. Taking the guy to the floor in the hook and hold, you can't do that. Those are major things, and those are losing plays, and that's when you talk about staying focused and doing the little things, doing the basic things. You can't do those things. That's part of it.
The one thing I do like about this team, and I brought this up last week, Phil, is We don't play sloppy on offense, so that's not really a worry of mine. We do make the extra pass. We just haven't hit shots, but we usually, most of these games, we don't have more turnovers than our opponent. We usually take care of the ball just fine.
Yeah, and I don't see a lack of effort. To me, it isn't about, they just want it more. That might have been the case maybe a month ago when the team was searching for themselves and the roles and everything. But I've seen them galvanize themselves, and I think the injury to Boogie is a part of it. A lot of folks were on that immediately. They thought, well, this could actually be a positive thing. It's not that you're a worse team without Boogie, but
you got older and stronger and more physical. You did. If you're looking at things you got better at, you got older, stronger, physical.
Well, there's also some immediacy when you know that your bench is shorter.
You know your role. Yeah, you feel a little better when you're going to the gym and you're like, I'm about to play 31 minutes tonight. Instead of you don't know you might play 21. You do.
Yeah, it's about roles, and it's about putting together a team that fits. The roles fit. And when you had Boogie at the point, well, then you put DJ at the 2. Well, he's not a 2. And you want him to be because you think Boogie's the 1. And then you put Nelly at the 3. Well, he's not a 3, he's a 2. So both of those guys, when Boogie goes out, slide into their natural positions.
I really like the ball in DJ's hand.
No, there aren't turnovers, and he takes good shots. He does those two things.
Do you think who knows if he comes back or not? You got to probably play in the postseason if that was the case. If you are at a place where Boogie's back, or let's say he plays next year for you, does he play off the ball, or does he have to be a point guard?
He's a point guard.
He's a point.
You can have 2, though. I always go back to St. Joseph's, Phil, and I think it's just like running backs, Delonte West and Jameer Nelson. Now, Jameer Nelson was the point, but, dude, Delonte could bring it up all game if you had to, and I think that's the next step where you as a point guard too, then you kind of feel a little different if you're not bringing the ball up. You kind of might just go stand over on the side, or the first action is you off a screen and we're going to get you the ball back anyway. So all we're doing now is you're just not bringing the ball up, but it helps because then the defense doesn't know who's going to bring the ball up and what they're going to do.
I will say this: I think Boogie would be a better 2 than DJ because he's a wing shooter and you can set him up to where he's got the ball in space and you can do some things as a 2 that you're not going to get as a 1. I mean, there's going to be somebody on the ball. But if you're running off screens, you can get open looks, and that might be something that they do. But I think you're right, Matt. Your point guard doesn't have to initiate the offense. I saw Nolan's teams with Paul Pressey. He was a point forward. He even called him that. Joe Johnson was a point forward. And I know you watched him, Matt. I mean, they initiated offense with Joe Johnson because he was a great passer, and he was the best isolation guy that's ever played. That's why he played so long in the league. Is that he was a big time bucket and an ISO whenever you want it. So you can initiate offense with. But I do think that they've got a good flow with their rotation right now, and it's probably going to get better if they just stay healthy.
I want to tell you about WT Equipment, your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. High horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors, hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators, all at WT Equipment and more at all of their 8 locations. You can explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. That's WT Equipment. You can check their website out, WTEquip.com. WT Equipment is your partner in progress. Halftime continues in just a moment, 877-377-6963. We'll be right back.
This is Halftime.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
The dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike
Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Or just stop by. Ranger, for the ones who get it done.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Ready to explore beyond the beaten path? Discover the Range Rover lineup at Land Rover of Little Rock. Experience handcrafted luxury with the capability to take on any adventure. The elegant Range Rover offers unmatched performance and first-class luxury. The Range Rover is built for every journey. Visit Land Rover of Little Rock today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you love somebody to love? You better find somebody to love. House, baby. Send your suffer. Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love? Wouldn't you like somebody to love? You better find somebody to love.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry is also with us here as we take you up until 2 o'clock on halftime, and then Ruskin and Zach can have you from there. Let's get into some baseball here. Here's Dave Van Horn yesterday on XM Sirius on his team at the moment.
With this group, I feel good about the way the kids are acting to each other and supporting each other and being good teammates, because that's interesting when you're talking, you bring in kids that either young and, they're used to be in the limelight and now they're not. And then you have the kids that are looking to the draft and they transferred because they didn't feel like they were getting something wherever else or whatever. There's just a lot more factors in there, it just seems like.
And there, there's something that I heard Matt Hobbs say in your Hog Pod with him yesterday, Clay. I listened to the whole thing. And I wonder how this extends to the other sports too. So many people believe that athletes in the transfer portal are they're choosing to go to the place that offers them the most money. I don't think that's the case with many of the guys that transferred to be Razorback baseball players this year, and specifically a couple of the pitchers, and Zach Root and Landon Beidelshees. Because I think, and it's nothing against the way that some of the other programs in the SEC also develop players and pitchers. Just look at major league rosters and look at the draft. They develop them just fine. But there is something to be said about big jumps that we've seen pitchers take forward under Matt Hobbs. That's got to be the reason these guys came here.
Well, he's had the National Pitcher of the Year 2 of the last 6 years. I mean, there's nobody that's beat that. I mean, LSU had one. I mean, with Kevin Kopps and Hagen Smith, and, it's people are paying attention. It's what you've done lately. And I don't think there's any doubt that the facilities and the analytics and what they have with DJ Baxendale and Zach Barr, those guys are really good. And it's, you see the jump that they just got out of Christian Fouch. He changed from, one style of fastball to another, and it jumped up 2 miles an hour, and it moves better. So I mean that was all based on analytics and the data that they had, that they projected that. Those two guys did, and told Matt Hobbs. And I mean, you heard him explain that. It's sometimes you have to get out of the way of the people that are down in the weeds, and I think they're down in the weeds at Arkansas baseball more so than anybody else in college baseball.
Well, I think so much of what Matt coaches to is about mindset. I think people get lost sometimes in the analytics and, miles per hour and RPM and all of that. That's all important. They're coaching to that too. But Matt, you talk to him much more. It's about mindset. It's about how to compete. It's about how you take care of your business, how you scout your opponent, and work with your catcher and decide what it is you're going to throw. The mental aspect of it, it's too much of a focus. Not from coaches. This isn't about the coaching. This is about how people talk about pitching. I think that one aspect of why they come here is to get mentally stronger, and I'm thinking of a couple of pitchers who can make that jump forward that, like you've talked about, with like Kevin Kopps did, like Isaiah Campbell did, like Connor Nolan did, like last year with Hagen Smith. And with all of those guys, they had to overcome something. Zay had to overcome an injury from 2 years prior. Kopps had to overcome a very poor season the year before and an injury before that. Nolan had to take over the mantle of an ace in a year where no one expected him to be the ace. And Hagen, he bounced between rotation and bullpen the year before he became the National Pitcher of the Year. This year, Gabe Gackle and Christian Fouch can take those steps forward. You got to have the stuff to do it first. But with Gackle, it's about doing what he did last year more than 3 innings at a time and continuing to improve that stuff, because it does improve. And with Fouch, he's got the best stuff on the team. And the thing for Fouch, and he's been doing this, is pitch in the 8th inning, sit down, come back for the 9th, and pitch just as well. It's not very easy for closers to do that. Both of these guys take the big step forward that they can. The sky's the limit for them individually and potentially for this team too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, and we've talked a lot about pitching, and they have to do a better job of manufacturing runs this year, and not just waiting for the big long ball. And I know they've worked on that, and they can take the pressure off the pitching a little bit with their offense, and I think they will. From watching scrimmages and listening to Nate Thompson and Dave talk about the change of an approach with 2 or 3 of their guys, shorter, more compact, taking it the other way, and I'm mainly talking about the shortstop Aloy and the catcher Ryder Helfrich. Those 2 guys, and they did it in the summer now, and they did it in the fall. Now let's see if they can take that into SEC play. And be a tougher out, not trying to turn on everything, Bill.
Yeah, you can see that Aloy's been doing that here in the lead up to the regular season. You need the same thing from Souza as well. And it looks like they've settled on a lineup. I think just based on the scrimmages over the last 3 weeks, that first team has not changed very much. 1 through 5, I think, is set. In the batting order, I really do. Charles Davalin leading off, Aloy second, Logan Maxwell third. There's something in the way they're talking about Maxwell that tells me that he very well could be the best hitter on this team. Ireland fourth. He ought to lead the team in home runs. I don't think 20 home runs is out of the realm of possibility for him. And Kendall Diggs batting fifth. What they also have here, Clay, and it's interesting because there's no switch hitters on this team, not one. But they got a great mix of lefty-righty. 1 through 8 in the batting order. Nobody repeats from the same side of the plate.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I like it. And I also like that they're going right, left in their starting rotation. At least that's what they're going to do this weekend. You've got 2 left-handers in the transfers, Root and Beidelshees, that I think that is what a coach would love to have, is to be able to change his rotation where every game you're seeing it from a different side. And it just makes the other coach change their lineup a little bit. You don't get set. And what you just said about Arkansas's lineup, if they've got a lineup that's set and they don't have to change it and they're not searching, they're not trying to jumpstart somebody, then you've got a good offense.
Yeah, I think there's a couple guys that we may see this weekend that could get into the lineup that we will see late in games, maybe for defensive reasons. I wouldn't be surprised to see Reese Robinette get a game either at third or at first, and maybe you DH Iredale for one of those games, because I think Reese is going to get some playing time as a late inning defensive substitute. I think Iredale looks good at third base, but he's prone to an error every once in a while. And Reese has actually moves really well at third. I would not be surprised to see that change made a few times, maybe even at first base. And then another hitter who's been fun to watch is Tyler Holland. He's a freshman, and he kind of comes across like a professional hitter. He was one of the toughest outs in the lead up to this season, so I think you may see him as a pinch hitter. Maybe Cam Kojal, who came in from Vanderbilt, and Nolan Souza beat him out for second base. Kojal also is someone, he had a good weekend last weekend. We may see him get some pinch hits late. But you just like say the roles are important right now for the basketball team to fit into those roles, and they have in the last month. To me right now, I mean, it's before the first game of the season, and you never know how it's going to shake out, but they seem to have some of these roles figured out in terms of what the lineup will look like, what the starting rotation will look like, who the closer will be. Now we just kind of figure out what the setup guys look like in the bullpen, because there's a lot of depth there.
Did you say Kojal or Kozel?
Kojal. Cam Kojal.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce names and always need help from the radio guy. He fascinates me because he has gone on social media to ask for fly fishing spots.
I saw that, yes. I almost forwarded you a screenshot of it.
Yeah, I got it. Somebody sent it to me. I think one of my daughters, saw that and said, "Dad, this is your guy." So we'll figure out somewhere along the way if he hangs around here long enough, we'll get him on the river.
Ball players love fishing. They really do. We had traveler players that would just
duck hunting and fishing. That's
really,
it. Yeah.
Or deer hunting.
Deer hunting. Yeah. Deer hunting works, in the fall for them, and duck hunting in the winter. So that's that falls into it. I think Zach Cox and James McCann, they explained that to me a long time ago, that this is just perfect for baseball players.
I want to tell you about Tucker Construction and Remodeling. Mike Tucker and Stowe Ray Construction have joined forces to do everything from demolition, excavation, utilities, tree service, metal buildings, new home construction, and remodeling to now their biggest investment of all, asbestos abatement. This is Tucker Construction and Remodeling, your source for all things construction, everything from tear it out to build it back. You can trust their 30 years of experience of a truly local team that does everything from tear it out to build it back. Call Mike at 479-650-6453. Again, that's 479-650-6453. It's Tucker Construction and Remodeling, serving all of the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, Branson, and more. When you need quality workmanship, call the team at Tucker Construction and Remodeling. You can call Halftime at 877-377-6963. We'll have much more after the break.
How about Jones? Don't be so cool, dude.
This is Halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my Double R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job in no time. Just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
Mungo like candy.
This is Halftime.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. That's GoForsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
In case you don't recall, I was yours and you were mine. Forget it. Said that I could write, but sad enough to make you cry. All the lies you wrote to me were lies. That's the love that you struck dead. Did you love me only in my head?
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Clay Henry also joining us here on Halftime on February 12th, which is also known as Valentine's Day for those who celebrate it. Arkansas beating North Carolina at Pine Bluffs Convention Center in 1984, a game that was televised on NBC all throughout the nation. A classic ball game, and Clay, a game that it stands apart probably from every other game that was ever played in Arkansas basketball history in terms of just how unique it was. I know you were there to cover it too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had 8,000, in every nook and cranny of the Pine Bluff Convention Center. It was a strange weekend in that Arkansas played at SMU on Saturday, and there were tornadoes rolling across East Texas and in South Arkansas, and they deemed that it was not doable to fly Saturday night, to get into Pine Bluff. So they flew in Sunday morning. The game was at, like noon or 1 or something like that on Sunday after lunch, and they said that I guess they were on 3 small planes, and they bounced through, different layers trying to find something smooth and didn't, and they all lost their breakfast on the flight, and then they got out there and played their butts off.
So was this a game that was originally on the schedule, or was this one that was thrown together? Because I kind of forgotten some of the details of it.
Well, it was a made-by-TV game, yeah. It's, North Carolina was doing that, playing a few made-for-TV games, and, Dean Smith wasn't scared of that. I don't remember how far in advance it was, but, Dean was not going to play in Fayetteville. That was not, and I don't think they had a suitable arena in Little Rock at that particular time. The Verizon or Alltel, whatever you want to call it, had not been built yet. So they were playing the King Cotton down there at Pine Bluff, I think, a high school all-star tournament, so to speak, and they had the community support there to pull that game off. But it was a TV game. I think Al McGuire was there, which was a big deal.
Dick Enberg was on the play-by-play.
That's right. I couldn't remember if it was Dick or somebody else, but yeah. It was interesting. I was at the Tulsa World at the time in 1984, and I was their college basketball writer. Bill Connors had a fascination with, the top level teams and coaches, and he wanted to go to that game. So we drove to Little Rock, and the Saturday afternoon we went to Little Rock Central and watched North Carolina practice, with all those stars. They had 5 first rounders. I mean, you had Michael Jordan as a young player. And you could tell the quickness and the talent that they had was off the charts, and they were bigger than everybody else was in that they measured their players in their stocking feet. They didn't measure them with shoes. So if they said a guy was 6'11", he was probably 2 inches taller than the rest of the 6'11s in college basketball. It's interesting that you don't get the true heights until you go to the combine. They get the true. When they go to the NBA camps, they get their true height. But, I've seen Dero listed anywhere from 6'6" to 6'9", and he's probably 6'6" or 6'7". I mean, that's just the way it works.
I mean, everybody will look at the fact that Michael Jordan played on that team. He had 4 NBA All-Stars.
Yeah.
4. Sam Perkins, Brad Daugherty, Kenny Smith, along with MJ. Daugherty may have ended up making the Hall of Fame if he didn't so many back injuries. He was a really good auto racer, if I remember as well. That Arkansas team finished really strongly in the regular season, and then in the Southwest tournament beat A&M, lost to Houston, then lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament. So it must have been it's kind of a disappointing way to end a season when you have such a relevant win, a month before against North Carolina. So you must not have seen that one coming. Though that was also in an era, that was before you had 64 teams in. So the team you're playing first is a lot better than the team you'd be playing first now.
Yeah, that practice, when you rattled off those players, to watch them in practice was really something. And be right there on the court with them. At the end of practice, there was some kind of a situation where there was a loose ball, and the ball was knocked loose at half court, and Kenny Smith picked it up just between the circles, and he took one dribble and took off at the free throw line and dunked it. And to see a guard do that, I was just like, okay. And that was the guy that stood out to me in the practice, not any of those other guys that you mentioned. I mean, even Jordan didn't do anything other than just be Michael Jordan. But that was when you saw, the athletic ability and the quickness and the speed of a player and the jumping ability. Kenny Smith was a real athlete. I mean, just a water bug, just move around the court. But Arkansas, they were the better team in that game. And Ballantyne got the ball, on the baseline about 5 feet away, and he went up, and it was really uncontested. There wasn't anybody close to him. Made it without any problems.
That North Carolina team lost in the second round of the tournament as well to Indiana, to a Bob Knight Indiana team, and then MJ goes on to the Bulls, and the rest is history.
Well, he played for Bob Knight, I think, in the Olympics, right? Yeah. And then he said the only person that could hold Jordan under 30 was Dean Smith.
That's right. Well, I mean, So Klein, Alvin Robertson was on that game too. He's probably the best of the pros.
Wayman Tisdale was on that Olympic team as well.
Wow. And how big was the convention center? Because I've never been inside.
8,500 is the way I remember it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like right on top of you. Grant earlier in the show had mentioned that there's basically no room between the sidelines and the stands.
You had to just turn your feet sideways if you're standing out of bounds. It's that close, like a high school gym. There's the way they had the bleachers pulled out.
See, it's an outlier. There'll never be a game like that again.
No question.
You won't be. The only time you go to Pine Bluff is preseason practice, like Cal did in Hot Springs and Pine Bluff. That must have brought back at least some nostalgia for fans in Pine Bluff, just seeing the Razorbacks
and Central
there.
Arkansas. I mean, it's not just like there were people from Central Arkansas made that trip to Pine Bluff. I mean, he didn't just fill it up with Southeast Arkansas folks.
We got a text from Joey who watched. You can find this the Valentine's Day game on YouTube. He says he watched it twice this morning, and that Al McGuire, and he's not even doing the play-by-play. He's the color commentator. McGuire stepped all over Dick Enberg's call for the last shot by North Carolina and called it good.
Steve
and it wasn't good.
Yep. No, it wasn't good. No. I mean, he got a pretty good shot off from the wing. And that was one of the reasons why we got to watch the Saturday practice. Steve Hale played at Jinx, and we were, Bill and I were coming from the Tulsa World. His old high school coach was like a grad assistant on the Dean Smith staff and got us into practice at Little Rock. We were the only reporters there. So that was all because of Steve Hale. And he was the guy that got the last shot and didn't make it.
You always get good little bits of trivia from Chris on the text line here. Here's a good little bit of trivia. Metallica played the Pine Bluff Convention Center 6 months before that UNC game. It's another thing that won't be happening there. It's also before Metallica became huge, just sort of.
Was that before Sandman?
Yes. That's before Michael Jordan also became, huge. It's interesting. Chris, you give us a little bit of
there were no Air
information I was
Jordans.
not ready for. Nobody would have had any clue what you're talking about. Jumpman? What? What's that?
Yep.
877-377-6963 if you got any other interesting bits of information about the Valentine's Day game as well. Stay with us. Back to wrap up the second hour of halftime after the break.
This is halftime.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Looking for a way to get your favorite lures from Pradco at the click of a button? Learner.com not only has brands such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more, but the site includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else for your favorite brands. We have free shipping for all U.S. orders over $35, so be sure to treat your favorite fishing buddy or yourself to some new tackle box treasures. Check out Learner.com today.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bend, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Serve you with a smile, cut you like you want me to, cut that little child inside of me and such a part of you. It's burn. It's burn. Be a little more. What I choose is my choice. What's someone supposed to do? The killer in me is the killer in you.
Welcome back into halftime. Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Happy birthdays going out today. Christina Ricci and Gucci Mane share a birthday, both turning 45 today. Josh Brolin turns 57, same age as China Phillips from Wilson Phillips. And Arsenio Hall is 69 years old. Whoop, whoop, whoop. You remember when Dana Carvey used to do the Carcinio character on SNL? It's a combination of two of the greatest late-night hosts of all time. He had the triangle haircut, and he would say weird, wild stuff with whoop, whoop, whoop. That was always fun. Last night on the Carson episode I saw, Matt, it was Burt Lancaster. This would have been, I think this was 85 or 86, and I really almost felt like Lancaster was playing the character that you would see on the Jeopardy things on SNL too. And man, did anybody ever have a better mustache than Burt Lancaster? Probably not.
Who you have? Tom Selleck had a mustache. Did Burt Reynolds have a good mustache?
Reynolds, I was going to say the two Burts were up there pretty good.
It was a beautiful stash. Absolutely, it was. Did I call him Burt Lancaster? I meant Burt.
Yeah, I thought you were tripping because 77. Smokey and the Bandit would have been the #1 movie if it wasn't for A Galaxy Far, Far Away.
I was thinking Burt. I was for some reason
Galaxy
thinking
Far, Far Away.
Burt Lancaster, but it was Burt Reynolds yesterday.
Him and Sally Fields fell in love.
player.
You know, they both talk about that afterwards. That's the movie, and they should have, whatever mistakes or however.
Well, last night Carson didn't want to bring it up because Carson didn't like talking about his own love life, but Burt threw it in his face a little bit that he was in a longer relationship at the moment with Lonnie Anderson than Carson had ever been in his life. So how many times did Carson get married? 4 or 5 times?
At least 3. Was it 5?
I thought it was 7 times.
Him and Ed both had over 3. I knew that.
And Lancaster was just proud. Not Lancaster. There I go again. Burt Reynolds was just proud that he was with Lonnie Anderson for 5 years. And the look in his face when he said, "That's the longest relationship I've ever had," I mean, he did not even believe that thing was lasting as long as it did.
T.S. Sam Elliott has a good one. We all know that one. That's just understood.
Mm-hmm.
His is an all-timer. I mean, that's a cowboy mustache is what that is.
It even looks good gray.
Now, did Wade Boggs have one for a little bit?
Yeah. A lot of guys in that era had one. I'd say Boggs had he had more of a Burt Reynolds mustache than a Tom Selleck mustache. It was thicker. The mustaches we're doing these days for ball players are a little thinner than the Selleck, Burt Reynolds mustaches of the late 70s and the 80s.
Yeah, like Grant Nelson, that one's weak.
That's Pink Panther. That's what Grant Nelson's got, the Pink Panther stash.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like there's only one Pink Panther.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't do that.
But when you have game like that, though, I mean, I think
He's
he's
got
one.
game.
Yeah, he's one of the best players in the SEC. I think.
I was told once by a manager who liked to make fun of me when I walked on the bus and he saw that I hadn't shaved it. He said, "Why don't you go get a cat to lick that off your face?" That's what I think when I see Grant Nelson's mustache.
Who's the? Is it Steve Martin that played a little Pink Panther a little
Yeah, he
bit?
did.
That's
Yeah, he
kind of. Maybe Conrad Hilton had that little kind of skinny mustache. Like
Yes, he
that.
did.
Yeah, that's kind of what he's got.
It's an Inspector Clouseau look. That's what it is. 877-377-6963 is our number for calls and texts and mustaches on halftime. Hall of Famer Clay Henry staying with us. We got another hour to go. Back after this break.
Now, for a limited time, employee pricing is back at the #1 fifth wheel dealer in Arkansas, Wheels RV. That's right, employee pricing is back, and you pay what our employees pay on a huge selection of select new and used RVs, plus some 2025 models included. You'll find all your favorite brands, such as Grand Design, Brinkley, Forest River, Vibe, Novo, and Flagstaff. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV sold. Employee pricing exclusively at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV, located 5 miles west of I-49 in Tawnytown. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Berg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Looking for the best way to save big this winter? WT Equipment has you covered with exclusive winter savings on Workmaster and Boomer compact tractors from New Holland. Choose your deal. 0% financing for 72 months or get a free loader with your tractor purchase. These powerful, fuel-efficient tractors are built for hard work and year-round reliability. And now, they come with unbeatable savings. Hurry in to WT Equipment before March 31st to lock in your deal. Visit us today or call 479-442-8284 for details.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, could see a little freezing rain across the north to start, and then a chance of rain. A few thunderstorms across the south. Our high temperatures today will be right around 40 north, closer to 50 south. Cloudy and colder tonight, and overnight low will drop down upper teens north, right around the mid-20s south, and then partly to mostly sunny on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Dumps it underneath. Golden shot blocked by Brazil.
Oof. Woof. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that's the perspective. Ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Judge, man, take it to the house.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What's the one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
Is vintage Matt Jones. 1, 2, 3. Turn it.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Got some good mustaches coming in. Anytime you mention a mustache, people are going to send in their favorites. Seth liked the Kevin Costner Dances with Wolves mustache. Gavin liked Ron Jeremy's mustache. There's other things Jeremy's got to focus on these days. Dennis Farina from Chris in Springdale. That's a good mustache. We'll take your mustaches. We'll take your.
He's in the movie
sports
Snatch that
commentary.
C Unit has.
He is.
It's a homework assignment. I don't know if you've seen a Guy Ritchie movie, but he's in that one.
If it's an art movie, Matt, you know I'm not going to watch it.
Well,
he was in the movie Midnight Run. He was the bad guy in Midnight Run. I don't know
John
if
Voight, was he in that one too? Yeah. Or Midnight Cowboys, what I'm
Midnight
thinking of.
Cowboy, that's
Yeah.
the one. That's more artistic. That's probably why I hadn't seen it in a long time. Hall of Famer Clay Henry also joining us here for the last hour of halftime today. Matt's been rocking a stash for a long time here, Clay. Every once in a while, I'll break it out. You know, I basically shave my face fully maybe 4 or 5 times a year. But it's just the 5 o'clock shadow thing. I haven't done just the mustache and nothing else for a long time. When's the last time that you, Clay Henry, rocked just the mustache? And
What
nothing
about
else?
Chuck Nasty? That's 1992. He's got one going.
There's during COVID, I let my beard go, and it got to where it was kind of fluffy for a while. That was 2 months in, and I kept trying to ask Jean Ann, do you like it or you don't? And I finally realized that she didn't, but she wasn't going to say. And so off it went. And then, about a month ago, there was, I think I missed a couple of weeks of church because I was sick or whatever. And, I just didn't shave because didn't feel like it. And all at once, I had a full beard again. And I didn't like it. It bothered me when I tried to sleep, like the scratchiness on the pillow. You even flip the pillow over, like Stuart Scott says. The other side of the pillow is so much nicer, and that didn't help. So I shaved it again, but never a mustache, guys.
Every once in a while, it's fun. If I do shave the full face, is to take it down to various levels of disgustingness. Take a photo of it. There's the goatee, and I never do a goatee. There's the facial hair with just the little patch, the soul patch, and then just the mustache, the full thing, and then all the way down to pencil thin with a cigar in my mouth, because that's kind of the way I think it should look. Dale Earnhardt Sr., according to JT. Gavin wants to see John Daly shave his beard. Hulk Hogan on BE. Raleigh Fingers is always the one people bring up.
Handlebar.
That's the reason why. If you got a curly Q at the end of your stash, people are always going to remember that. Saw where Arkansas Edge is now looking for another new executive director for the second time this year. Lost Kyle May, who had been in his position for, I think it was 6 months, had been a fundraiser at the Walton Art Center, takes the same role essentially as the lead fundraiser for Arkansas Edge, which is the NIL collective, and now they're looking for somebody else. I guess, I know that there's a profession about fundraising, Clay, and it's nothing against May or anybody else that's been in that role, but they had to come here and sort of learn a lot about being a Razorback, or about the athletic department and everything around it. Would just seem that maybe, and I'm not somebody that does hiring, it's just throwing ideas out there. I don't know what sort of role you got to serve when you're an executive director of an NIL collective. The first thing you got to do is be able to get in front of people, ask them for money, and come up with ideas to bring money in from people that you're not getting in front of face to face. And it just can't be a good thing when you're going to end up being on your third executive director of the last year.
I kind of feel like this is a job that conflicts with other fundraising jobs on campus. I mean, they're all going after the same people, but with different results, in mind. And I get it. You've got endowment, at the university, and that's, the advancement is what they call it, and I think that's Scott Verity, and he was at the Razorback Foundation. And then you got Ryan White, who's at the foundation, right? And then you had this guy, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all asking the same people that are University of Arkansas fans, either academically or whatever. They're all asking them for money, and it just looks like it's all kind of a conflict of interest. Like, well, I'm going after this guy. Well, I'm going after him again too. You need to leave him alone for a week while I talk to him. Yeah. Just like to me, it's a tough job.
Well, and also that's exactly right. And I must just to get into the mindset of somebody, if he takes this job this last week or whenever it is that he took it, and the executive director position is now open. Well, how long did it take Kyle May to figure out this is not for me, or this is not what I thought it was, or I don't want to do this anymore? It's not the same sort of fundraising I was doing before, and I don't like this.
Yeah, and it could be as simple as somebody offered him a better job. It's whatever. I mean,
or it wasn't raising or it wasn't raising enough money.
He wasn't doing it well enough, and they moved on. I don't know what happened here. I do not. This is out of my wheelhouse, so to speak.
And that information comes out around the same time, the same day that the 5 Division I athletic directors in the state of Arkansas put out this joint statement, essentially saying, yes, we want raffles. We want raffles for NIL money or to pay the players directly now. That's also what it will be about, whether it's 50-50 raffles or whatever. Now, finally, you see the Division I universities speaking with one voice on this matter, and hopefully that gets something moving forward with it, and that way we don't have to bat this thing around any longer. I know there's a couple of competing bills in the Arkansas State House at the moment that are being considered today by the Rules Committee. One of them is to allow raffles at sporting events to pay college athletes. Now, I noticed, I didn't read the whole thing about this, but when I see it says at sporting events, that's not on your phone. That's at the game only. The other prohibits raffles to pay athletes. But I know there's 5 other states within the SEC that have a state law allowing 50-50 raffles to pay athletes. So if you're Arkansas and you're within that footprint, you need the same thing.
Well, you want to have the same size bat. You want to have the same the same weapons. It's makes sense. I noticed that the Saracen people they've said this isn't the right approach, and the way to do it is to have it on the phones. And I would think that's probably correct, although it doesn't look like they want to just do the raffle on the phones. They want to do online gaming on the phone too. And that seems to be the sticking point. I did notice, and I can't remember which one it was, but there was a prop bet earlier this week, and I think it's been removed. One of the online gaming outfits, they were going to, is Arkansas going to win the SEC West again this year? There is no SEC West.
I mean, I can't even. It's been so unwieldy watching the football standings, but you kind of got used to it with basketball. It's just when there are 30 games played, it makes more sense to have divisions. So I don't know.
Baseball deal.
I don't know if we'll ever get back to it. Baseball was always meant to be a sport with divisions. In fact, I think if you look at the history of the SEC, since the league grew from Carolina and Arkansas in '92, they've always had divisions until this year. So just the unwieldiness kind of continues with that. 877-377-6963 to get with us. Got a big basketball game tonight, Arkansas versus LSU. Let's hear from assistant coach Chuck Martin on what the Hogs need to beat the Tigers today.
We got to defend without fouling, rebound the ball, and then get back in transition and force them to play in the half court.
Defend without fouling, first and foremost. That's how LSU beat the Razorbacks the first time around. 19-11 in fouls. They made 26 free throws. Arkansas took just 13. That's how LSU won that game. And you can't let them get to the foul line, anything like that this time around.
Protect the paint. That's how you keep from fouling, is that you protect the paint. And you keep your feet on the floor. You don't take the fakes. They're better at that. They have improved. But but they've got to take more free throws in this game than LSU. That's the whole idea when you play at home. You might get a favorable look by the guys in stripes.
This is also like the first game I can remember where they're expected to win. I don't think they was expected to win against Alabama. The 2 road games where they picked up back-to-back victories. I don't know a lot of people that went into that thinking Arkansas would win. Not only are they favored in this game, they're favored by 10 on BetSarazin, and nationally it's 9.5. So, that can't be anything that these guys worry about. The only thing they have to worry about is that this is the team that beat them a month ago, and that LSU hasn't won a game since. None of the other stuff should matter. None of the other stuff should matter at all. They're watching film on LSU. They know that they have better personnel than the Tigers do. But they also know that Tigers team beat them a month ago. The line doesn't matter for this team. That's, next week doesn't matter for this team either. It's you go out, put a statement together, and then worry about the teams that you're going to be underdogs against. The next 3, they're going to be underdogs.
Well, the idea that you lost to them, revenge is as good a motivation as there is. I mean, you've seen it, escalate. That's the thing that gets people excited. It's like I want to. They done me wrong. I'm gonna get them back. So, and I think that's. But it's the wins in the SEC are so precious that I don't even think you need revenge. I mean, I think you need to know that I've got to give my best effort, because that's the only way we're going to win is if we play hard.
Get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina for the game today. They have Nacho Average Wednesday all day long. That's $1 off all nachos on the menu. Dine in only. $1 off all beers, draft, or bottles. That is all day long as they're open at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 74th Street in Fort Smith, right across from Harps. Be a great place to watch Arkansas basketball tonight and coming up on Saturday. And they are online at joesfortsmith.com. Stay with Halftime. We got Clay Henry. We got more to get to. Back after the break.
This is Halftime. Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
When I first started coaching, we won a couple state championships by just overpowering people with press and man-to-man, real physical play. And then as the years progressed, you adapt. Obviously, you have a base philosophy, but you have to adapt to your players.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com.
Takes for 3. It's on the way.
Yes! Yes!
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
It's that time of year. Longer nights and colder weather can mean higher energy bills. But Arkansas Oklahoma Gas wants to help you save on your energy costs this winter. A healthy heating system equals a happy home and wallet. Ensure it runs efficiently by scheduling regular maintenance with a licensed technician. Adjust ceiling fans to spin clockwise to help push warm air down. Keep your thermostat on a lower setting, health allowing, and layer up on clothing. For more money-saving tips, visit AOGC.com/winter.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full day cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561. Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call. Cleans it all.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. We're live at First Financial Mortgage with my friend Ethan Adamson. Ethan was my mortgage lender here. And Ethan, between you and Emily, over 2 decades.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of experience here to help you get closed on a home really quick. We offer custom financing available through VA, FHA, RD, and conventional loans. First Financial Mortgage has a great history of lending in the area. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and at Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
You're holy. I'm on nerves. Oh, said
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us as well here, and this was something that nearly got out of hand in the French Quarter hours after the Super Bowl. It sent Matt this video yesterday. I can't play it on the air because it's got a few very choice words thrown in there. Pat Mahomes Sr., former Major League pitcher, is standing around on the French Quarter with a friend of his. It looks like I don't know if Mahomes is drinking now or not, because I know he had another DUI recently. But he's there, and all of a sudden, John Rocker, yes, that John Rocker, walks by and notices that it's Patrick Mahomes Sr., Pat Mahomes, as we all know him as. He goes, "Hey, Pat, what's up?" And walks over to him, wants to give him a handshake, and I guess talk for a while. They were never teammates before. I don't know if they ran in any of the same circles. My guess is no, they did not. They missed each other by a year on the Rangers.
Rocker said he had one black friend, so it could have been him.
I don't think it was Pat Mahomes, just based on his reaction of when Rocker came up to him to talk. He wanted nothing to do with John Rocker and basically told him so in so many words. And Rocker, who looks to me like he's been working out of late, he kept his cool as long as he could, and then it looked like the two of them were ready to go after each other, which would not have, I don't think that would have ended well for either of them, but I think Mahomes would have ended up getting the worst of it, because it looked to me like Rocker's got 35 pounds, maybe more, and it's not fat. And he still looked the same as the guy that I remember when he was on rehab with the Rangers, coming to Little Rock to pitch, and we had a very specific kind of crowd show up for that. And he was good with the media. But when I went up to thank him for speaking to the local media, I felt like, Clay, you ever feel like somebody's looking through you?
He's only there because he's supposed to be there. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I don't think he saw me. I think whatever whatever it was that he had put inside his system, because there was something there, made some other people look invisible, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Now, you know the old story on Pat Mahomes, Patrick's dad, he signed with Norm DeBryan and Doug Clark. He was going to play baseball at Arkansas. And of course, then he got drafted and he wasn't ever coming to school. But his thought was that he was going to play baseball for Norm and basketball for Nolan, and he would have been on the same teams with Day, Mayberry, and Oliver Miller.
Isn't that wild?
He was that kind of. He was a really good off guard. I don't know whether Nolan said he remembers him, saw him play. But he was going to play. He was going to pitch for Arkansas baseball.
Well, his son said, I know. Quarterback Mahomes said before the Super Bowl that if he chose to play baseball, he thinks he'd have made Major League Baseball. Now, it would have taken more effort to play the sport than he ever gave it, probably, because I saw he played for Texas Tech. He pitched an inning. He didn't retire anybody. Every batter he faced scored. And he went 0 for 2 lifetime at Texas Tech. So, again, it's a small sample, so I don't know.
Whatever happened
to me, it looks like he picked the right thing.
Whatever happened to the Greenwood kid, Connor Nolan, that won a game as a starting quarterback and has won a game as a starting pitcher up there? Did he has he come to fruition yet?
He's in the Cubs minor leagues.
He still do. Okay, good.
I think he pitched pretty well last year.
I think he's going to get to pitch in AAA this summer. That's my understanding.
Yeah, Connor last year, well, he had a 6 ERA at AAA, but he had an ERA of 2.50 at AA. So to me, that says they'd give him another shot at AAA. 16 starts for Tennessee last year, right outside Knoxville. 7-3, 3.02 ERA. Good numbers for Connor. That's a good season. AA's tough. Good for him. He'll get a shot. He'll get a shot. He's one of those.
It's about time. Like as far as whatever it takes 2-3 years. Kind of like these basketball players. You get in the first round, but it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 years before Anthony Black's really playing meaningful minutes. You look at Malik Monk out there in Sacramento. They traded a DeAndre Fox, another Calipari guy, to San Antonio, but I believe it's because Malik Monk has been doing his thing the last couple of years. They know where the minutes can go. Which Malik Monk's another Calipari guy.
It's just those guys have to sit around in the NBA for a few years. It might be some G League time too. But with baseball's structure, you get a chance to develop in the minor leagues, not sitting on a bench anywhere. Good for Connor. It's going to be a good season for him. I feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty good. It's going to be a good year for the Razorbacks. Dave Van Horn had a media session earlier today. I've wondered about how a head coach who's been doing this for so long views the differences in team chemistry from all the years that he's been coaching, when you can develop players and develop them together for 3-4 years, to what it's like now, where just look at this, the Washington State roster. This is the team Arkansas plays this weekend. 6 players returning from last year. None of them really did much except for one pitcher. 4 position players, 2 pitchers, and that's it. That's all that's returning from Washington State. Otherwise, 10 freshmen, 14 junior college transfers, and 3 Division I transfers who didn't do much where they played before. This right now is a team that you really have no idea what to expect of. But they've also been thrown together. The Hogs have been thrown together, I think, a little bit more, not as patchwork as it seems with Washington State. Here's Dave Van Horn, a new chemistry in today's modern baseball age.
I guess modern day Division I baseball at this level, there's always going to be so many roster changes. You just never know how it's going to go. But if fall is any indication, the team seems to be close and probably about as close as we could hope this time with this many new guys. So just really looking forward to getting it going.
Now, you don't have as many new players or pitchers for Arkansas as Washington State, but it's got to be a matter of you show up, you work hard, not a matter of putting your head down, but you got to be who you are. You got to be genuine about it and understand that you're competing here in your own scrimmages at a level that's probably higher than most of the games you'd played in your career. It's nothing against some of the other places where these guys have played, but scrimmaging against Arkansas players quite often, even if there's the second teamers, the second team pitchers, that's going to be a little more difficult than even playing an April game for Florida Gulf Coast or out in the Big West. Those are good leagues, but it's different here.
I've heard Dave Van Horn talk about this, and I don't know whether he did it this year or not, but I know he did this last year, is that he's got the nameplates for the lockers, and you've got, a little piece of tape on the back of it, and you pull off and you stick them on. And he went around the baseball locker room and put names on the lockers so that there would be a returning player and a new player side by side, that it wouldn't be like 3 newcomers and 3 returning players, that he, with the mindset of mixing them up and building chemistry, and that you're going to know the guy that's sitting next to you in the locker room each day. And I think they did some paintball stuff together. So they're definitely doing things to try to blend this roster together as fast as they can. And you listened to the Matt Hobbs interview, and he talked about culture, and that you can't replace the whole roster. You can't do a University of Colorado. Now, he didn't say that, but it's like what they did, where you just bring in a complete new roster. You can't have your culture drafted. You can't have it all be new players. You have to have a mixture. So he wants to have young players come in each year, and that you develop them, and then have some holdovers that, Gage Wood's a third-year player. Kendall Diggs is a veteran player. He's a fourth-year player, right?
That's right.
And you're going to have some culture with the holdovers like that are guys that are going to play. And obviously, if you bring in freshmen and you play them like they did with Ryder Helfrich, there's some carryover there with the pitchers, with your catcher.
I think Dylan Carter is a real kind of a culture guy too, but
You're
also
right.
has that redemption arc.
He's a Razorback.
Not the right term, because a couple years ago he was put in situations that he wouldn't have been put in if the pitching staff hadn't had so many injuries, and he came through in a lot of cases. Last year he had the arm injury, and actually last year was all about coming back. He had the arm injury while he was closing games for the Hogs 2 years ago, and was doing a really good job. But that's also the same thing as Kevin Kopps, coming back from an arm injury. Took more than a year for it to really set for Kevin. Same with Isaiah Campbell. It was the year after the injury that he was okay in 2018, and then he blossoms into an ace in 2019. He was hurt in 2017. This is 2 years off from the injury for Dylan Carter, and all that I think they're going to expect from him is an inning at a time, maybe twice on a weekend, maybe not to start the season, but this is somebody that can be dominant for an inning at a time, has closed games in the SEC. It's kind of like a secondary closer, because you're not going to use Fouch all 3 games on a weekend. I think Dylan Carter will get some chances too, and that's somebody that's got the stuff to take the big step forward for like some of those pitchers we've talked about previously, Clay.
Yeah, and another one that is a culture guy that you cut him open, little hogs run out, and be Will McIntyre. But they've got. I think this is a better staff all the way around than last year's staff, and they didn't get out of Tigert and Molina what they expect to get out of these guys. This foursome of potential weekend starters that they're going to kind of unleash this weekend on Washington State. And you could make a case that they look better from the closing position than they did last year. And nobody knew what Gackle was going to do. He wasn't a strike thrower in the fall, and I think they suspected that it was going to be Gage Wood to be their closer, and that didn't quite work out. But Gackle, he took the bit, ran with it. But I think that if you ask the Major League Baseball scouts that have seen their scrimmages, there is a great fascination with Christian Fouch.
Yes. Yeah, and you could see it in the scrimmages. I heard Hobbs talking about it on the Hog Pod. We talk a lot about his fastball and the splitter. The splitter is just, a pitch you don't see in college very much, and it's good, but it's a wild card. The cutter that he's throwing right now, which I think acts more like a slider, that is a huge pitch for him. Now, if Fouch gets ahead of a hitter with the first pitch, if he's ahead 0-1, you might as well take the bat out of that guy's hand. Because if you're guessing with Fouch, you better guess right, and you better be quick.
You have to sit on the fastball because it's 100.
Yes.
I mean, you there's not any other choice. I mean, if you're looking off speed, well then 3 straight fastballs. I mean, the ball hits the mitt before you get your bat off your shoulder. I mean, it's just that fast. I mean, that's what Skeens was doing to guys. That's what Fouch can do. And you only see him twice. You might see him on a Friday night. I'm talking about a hitter, and then you're going to see him one more time on Sunday. So it's not like you go in there and you get 3 at bats against Skeens and figure him out. That's not what's going to happen with Christian. But he's a guy that the scouts are they're hyped up about him, and he's a third-year guy that's developed, and you got to give another case where you give this pitching coach Matt Hobbs and his assistants, Baxendale and Barr, you give them a lot of credit for bringing this guy along.
If you're craving anything sweet and delicious right now, you can get over to Andy's Frozen Custard. They've got you covered. Greatest frozen treats around right now. I'm thinking about an Andy's Turtle Split, frozen custard and a whole banana covered with hot fudge, cream caramel, roasted pecans, and topped with a cherry. Good. Andy's Frozen Custard has you covered. Walk up or drive through at all their locations in our listening area. They're in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue, Conway, East Oak Street, and Dave Ward Drive, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Now stay with Halftime. It's the home stretch, and we return after this break.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?
This is Halftime.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA and college basketball to the NHL and UFC, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source. From every three-pointer to hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline. The game starts here.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Fan. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, full deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
Eat Lux your way with the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. The $5 Classic box is iconic all over. The $7 Supreme box has your decadent favorites and then some. The $9 Discovery box introduces you to your newest obsession, like cheesy dipping burritos. Introducing the new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
today and explore our incredible Range Rover selection. Plus, take advantage of our promotions and recently revamped service department. Visit us at 25 Colonel Glenn Plaza Drive or log on at LandRoverLittleRock.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools. Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports.
I think the boys program, we definitely thrive off the energy and the emotion. I think as a coach, it's a big thing to kind of just help those guys rein that in, myself included. You know, there's times we have to take a step back, take a breath during a timeout, and just sit there and breathe.
New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
I'm tired of kidding myself. Another pill no good for my health. I wish I could make this disappear. So I sit and smoke on my own. Think about you, baby, how you feeling alone? 'Cause I die just thinking that you'll forget. But I guess you won't. I wish I could do this.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Hall of Fame sports writer, sportscaster Clay Henry with us as well as we get into the home stretch here of halftime. So, question here, guys. Who wants to start the college baseball season with 2 games instead of 1? Show of hands. Anyone? Anyone?
I thought that's how it should start.
That's how it's going to start. Doubleheader Friday. The baseball program just announced it 3 minutes ago. Because of Sunday's freezing cold temperatures, going to play a doubleheader Friday beginning at 12 noon, which will mean no halftime, and have another game, as of now, they say 30 to 45 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. Have a 2 o'clock game Saturday. Now, that's also weather permitting because Saturday looks like it could be pretty rainy before it gets freezing and turns into snow. But a 2 o'clock game, not going to happen at night. And then we'll have a Monday game at 12 noon, no baseball Sunday. So they're going to do everything they can to get these 4 games in. Doubleheader on Friday beginning at noon, Saturday at 2, no game Sunday, stay warm, 12 noon Monday. But you know what that means for halftime, Matt? 4-day weekend.
I'm already looking up the soccer schedule now. Liverpool and Everton are playing right now at 0-0. I'm going to get to watch the second half of that. But with this, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, Phil, because you know what can happen. All these plans you just said could change a little bit. But Brighton and Hove Albion, they play Chelsea 2 o'clock on Friday. So I might be cozied in for that one.
I am all for this. I haven't called a ball game since Arkansas lost to Southeast Missouri last year. I don't remember the date. I don't want to remember the date, but I'll be ready for 2 games on Friday. You bet your bottom dollar. Bubba will too, though. I'm not sure if he knows what time
you going to have Bubba for both?
He'll be there for both.
He does double hitters?
Double header. He'll hold the bat standing next to me. He'll threaten me with everything that I say. He'll question all of my decisions. He'll ask for stars when he doesn't deserve one. Why not? We might as well just start off all of our routines Friday for the first of 56 games and do 2 for 1. I'm all for it.
What's his deal? Does he eats Jolly Ranchers or M&Ms? What is it that or Skittles?
Well, you can't eat Jolly Ranchers during a radio show.
You can't.
That should be illegal because that's
You crunch
one way.
them.
Well, it's a way you can actually do. You can do self-dental surgery. Just bite onto
Yeah, you
those
can.
things as hard as possible.
Hard rock candy.
Teeth will rip themselves right out easily. No, and the peanut M&Ms were my thing. It's just I didn't ever really eat all those peanut M&Ms. I think people must have thought I ate all of those M&Ms that I had. It was a whole. Gosh, I mean the thing must have weighed 35 pounds just of peanut M&Ms. I did not eat all of those things. And it's not Skittles what Bubba will eat, and he said he will come into the booth with 2 Sonic burgers, one that'll eat before the game starts, and then one that'll snarf down at some point during the middle of the game, or save that puppy for later. And what are our things that we eat? Our honey stingers, the little wafers. They're called stroopwafels in some places. Those little wafers you can put on top of a cup of coffee, and then all the steam sort of softens it. Or the Honey Stinger Fruit Chews, which it's not straight up caffeine that you're chewing on, but these are edibles of a different kind. All they have are honey and energy in them, and Bubba will go through one of those a game. That's my. Well, I mean, we're practically like a married couple on the radio anyway, so it's like every married couple knows everyone else's eating habits.
I mean, it is as much a pairing of Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau as there's ever been.
So which one am I? So
I think you're Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon was the clean one, right?
Yeah.
Matthau was the gross one.
Yeah, but I don't think of it in terms that he's gross. I just think that you're closer to the straight man.
Okay, I can go with that one. That works for me. It is an odd couple.
There's no Sophia Loren hanging around. I can just tell you that. There's not in the booth. Yeah.
No Ann Margaret showing up either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He couldn't get either one of them to pop in at any point. But so that means we'll get on the air for the pregame show Friday at 11:30. So everything's been moved up. Initially a 3:00 start, up to 12, 2 9-inning games on Friday. So who knows how many doubleheaders we'll have this year. Sometimes you don't ever have any. This year, we'll definitely have at least one of them. 877-377-6963 for any thoughts you have on that. Someone had mentioned earlier in the show about Jeff King, former Arkansas slugger and third baseman, going to be inducted into the College Baseball Hall of Fame tomorrow. Dave Van Horn touched on that today as well.
Jeff, you could just tell he was a little different talent. I mean, when he took batting practice, guys tried to pay attention because it was fun to watch. The ball came off his bat a little differently than some of the other guys. Had a really strong arm. He could run. He looked the part. It was interesting just watching some of the so-called brass come in from Major League Baseball his junior year to watch us play and practice. And I remember the day that the GM for the Pirates came in, and that was a lot of years ago, but I remember it because it was a big deal. You're thinking, wow, they got the first pick in the draft. They ended up selecting him, I think 1-1 that year. He had a good career. He actually got out a little early. I don't think he was done physically, but I think mentally he had enough, and just happy for him and his family. And he definitely needs to be in the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
Well, he's going in tomorrow in Kansas City. 154 career home runs for King. He played 1,201 Major League games, and I looked it up. He literally did retire the day that he became fully vested in the Major League pension. So Dave's right about that. Mentally, he was finished with the game of baseball. But he could have stayed for another few years. He's only 34. He hit still fairly well for power, but he retired the day he became vested in the Major League pension. So he had a goal in mind. And it was playing, you got to play at least 10 years. You got to have, I think it's 170 days on average for Major League service over a 10-year period. He played 11 years. 2 of those years had a little injury involved in it, so he had to wait 11 years to actually become fully vested. And on the day he did, he was done.
So one of my goals this summer is to go visit him at his home.
In Montana, right?
Whitefish, Montana. That would be one of the cool places that you could live. A lot of trout streams around there. A lot of great hunting. I mean, they have huge mule deer, huge whitetail. I mean, it's up there in the corner. But I'm going to Montana this summer. It looks like that's my vacation that I'm planning, and it's going to be extravagant, long.
Dude, I got to get back. I spent the '98 season working for the team in Helena.
Oh, I'm going to go Helena. Yeah,
loved Helena. What a cute little
Missoula,
town.
Helena, all those places I want to get to.
Beautiful stuff. We got Bobby and Bull Shoals calling us on halftime. Bobby, thanks for calling. What's going on?
Well, not a lot, guys. Thank you for taking my call, first of all. I will say a great show today, guys. Great show. I really enjoyed it. Joe Johnson brought a smile on my face.
Thank you.
Clay, I was going to ask you, where did Willie Cutts go to high school at?
Willie Cutts. I believe was he from Pine Bluff? I mean, I may be right on that, but I'm not sure.
I didn't think of the only reason I asked is they got a horse running down Oak Lawn. It's called Willie Cutts. Wow. And I seen him about a month ago running. I was laughing some people down there at the horse track. One guy was trying to explain to him who Willie Cutts was.
That's a tough one to explain. Just say that he's really quick out of the gate, but he might not reach his full potential.
That's a good way to put it right there. Well, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for taking my call.
Bobby, thanks for calling. Appreciate that. 877-377-6963. That's right. That's right by the dam, right?
I went and fished by the dam. I did. Went all the way to the dam. Had a good day on Saturday.
You have a lot of good days over by that dam.
Yeah.
Let's make it a good day and wrap up the show in a moment. Want to remind you first about the Hit That Line Now app. You can listen to all of the shows on hitthatline.com and ESPN Arkansas on the Hit That Line Now app. You can also watch all of the shows via video stream and listen to all the podcasts on the Hit That Line Now app. Download it anywhere you download your apps. App Store for Apple iPhones, Google Play for Android, and it's brought to you by our friends at Taco Bell, where you satisfy your daytime cravings with the Cantina Chicken Menu lineup today. Now stay with Halftime. Back to wrap up the show in just a couple of minutes.
This is Halftime.
Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing on all 2024 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. This is a limited time offer. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith and online at harryrobinson.com.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more. Happy New Year from all of us at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We invite you to party with us all year as we celebrate 75 years in business. We are proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas area for 75 extraordinary years. Here's to 75 more.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson. I'm with Ethan at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith. Ethan, what promotion do we have going on?
We're putting on a 5K challenge. If you sign up during the month of February and ride at least 5,000 or more miles by September 27th, you'll win a gift card and a t-shirt. Riders who accumulate at least 5,000 miles and complete 3 check-ins will earn a $75 Wheeler Power Sports gift card. Fuel up, sign up, and hit the road. See our Facebook page for full details.
Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Old Man Winter is here, bringing cold, nasty weather. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear to keep you warm and dry. Insulated coats, jackets, overalls, coveralls, thermal socks, and gloves. For kids, up to men's 4X. Jelco Outdoors has the largest selection of winter boots in the River Valley to keep your feet warm and dry. Need a portable heater? Jelco has plenty of Mr. Heater portable propane heaters and accessories. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors. Stay safe and stay warm this winter. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith, your cold weather store.
Happy New Year from Sharp Equipment. Come on over to the new Sharp Equipment today and explore what all Sharp has to offer. From our latest offers and deals as a Wacker Newson dealer to customized hydraulic and industrial hoses, equipment repairs, and as a Cinnabogan authorized service provider, we're able to offer even more. Stop in to check out the new location at 5608 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, or give us a call at 479-649-0500 to see how at Sharp Equipment we help you move more than just the world. We help you move forward. Sharp Equipment, your Wacker Newson dealer.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Wrapping things up here on halftime on this Wednesday. First, with a reminder about the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast coming out shortly. Thanks to C Podcast. Eastside Liquor is at 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Call 479-452-7311. They've got everything you need, and if they don't, they'll go get it for you. And they've been sponsoring the Halftime Podcast for going over 3 years now. Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a little. And, Matt, we've got our last show of the week tomorrow. How about that?
Let's go baseball.
That's right. Let's go baseball. More 4-day weekends potentially in the future. But I don't think there's another Monday game until, well, maybe June. That'll be the next time you might
Good
have
for the
one.
throat, for this weather's changing, kind of have a little break because you can kind of feel your throat get a little scratchy this time of year.
Man, I can't have a scratchy throat this time of
You're
year.
too valuable.
No, can't do it. Clay, can't do it, man.
Do
Clay-
you have something that, a lozenge that comes to your aid? Those fishermen's lozenges, do they help your throat a little
Now
bit?
you got to be getting some type of royalty from that. That's for sure.
Lozenge
Because those
world
are the
going on
best.
here. I got Tic Tacs, I got Fisherman's Friend, I got Honey Stingers, I got Halls, I've got Ricolas, even Prilosec, which is definitely not a throat lozenge, but does end up going in your mouth. I'm covered pretty much. I got 6 different kinds of things to melt in my mouth here, so I think I'll be okay. These all will work for me.
Well, I'm going to check on you Saturday. Just make sure you're all right. I'll pop my
see.
head in there in your booth, say hi to your better half.
He's my better third.
Bubba.
I'd be 2/3. He can be 1/3. Last thing on the game tonight, 8 o'clock, 7:30 airtime. Again, I'm pretty much going to guarantee you it won't be tipping off on ESPN2, so you're going to have to find ESPN News or the U because Louisville, North Carolina State is ahead. Arkansas favored by 10. I feel really good about them winning this ball game, maybe covering. But they play the way they have the last 3 games. They're going to be just fine.
I don't know about all this betting thing, but I do not feel good about them covering because what shows that when of the last time we beat a conference opponent by 10. But I do feel really, really, really positive, 100% positive, 99% positive. Hogs will win tonight.
Clay?
They bring their intensity. They're in good shape.
Sounds about right. Yeah, they've been bringing the intensity the last
They
3
have.
games. Hopefully it continues again.
Hey, it's different. Hey, they're expected to win. They're the favorite. They have to play like they're the underdog, though. That's the key. Don't play like a favorite.
Hog reaction right after as well. And that's it for halftime today. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for your calls and for your texts. Again, if you haven't heard, baseball has changed up the schedule for the weekend because of inclement weather. Doubleheader opening day at 12 noon Friday, meaning no halftime. Airtime for baseball 11:30, 2 o'clock Saturday, no game Sunday, 12 noon to wrap up the series with Washington State on Monday. Clay, have a great rest of the day.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Phil.
you. And for Matt Jones and Christian Johnston in studio, I'm Phil Elson. Thanks for listening today and have a great rest of your Wednesday. And get up, get out, and get better.